SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. Hi, welcome to SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the Upstone versus the World show, the show that we do every week where we talk with Doug Upstone about the articles that he writes covering the upcoming weekend in NFL for SBRforum.com. Right now, we're looking ahead to NFL Week 13, and we're going to hear Doug's value plays for this week. Doug, thanks for being back with us. How'd you do last week?
Hey, Peter, I actually did quite well. 2-1 again,
Nice.
So that's a 6-1-2 the last 3 weeks, taking me to 17-12-3 on the season, and that elusive 3-0 went away again as Kansas City gave up that late touchdown against San Diego.
Awesome. The class is really starting to show, Doug Upstone, and guess what? You got it, at least when it comes to handicapping. All right, let's hear what your value plays are for NFL Week 13. Value play number 1. Go.
Right, value play number 1 is Tampa Bay plus the points over Carolina. Head coach Greg Schiano was all but done in Tampa Bay, but with 3 straight victories and 4 consecutive covers, he's at least putting up a fight for his future employment in West Florida. Now, this NFC confrontation opened at 9.5 or 10 at several sports books, and actually have lost a little value on the Bucs. But with how Tampa Bay is playing, I think that more than a touchdown is pretty generous. Now, let's keep in mind the Panthers have a big date next week in New Orleans and might not be fully focused for a second straight week. I'll take the points with the road pooch.
All right, can't argue with that at all. Preview the game with Brandon Shively from EliteSportsPlays.com. He made basically the exact same arguments you just made. Loves Tampa Bay this week. Last week, Tampa Bay was a super sharp play. Of course, got the outright win. Why would they not have value again this week? I think you might have a winner there. Doug Upstone, value play number 2. Go.
Value play number 2 is New England minus the points against Houston. Now, last Sunday, we had an opportunity to look into the hearts and souls of New England and Houston. Tom Brady and his teammates were down 24-0 to Denver, never panicked, caught the Broncos, and finished them off in overtime in a remarkable contest. Now, Houston had the perfect situation to end their 8-game losing streak hosting Jacksonville. Instead, the Texans were lifeless and outgained by the Jaguars by 115 yards and stumbling to a 13-6 loss. Houston should just wave the white flag at this point, because I think they've packed in their season and are 0-6 against the spread, along with a 1-5 record. Look for the Brady Bunch to show no mercy on this group of quitters.
All right, well, now I'm feeling a little bit nervous here, Doug Upstone, because I previewed this game with Troy West from AllPlaysWin.com, and I was like, man, the Texans got to be a great bet here, right, Troy? And he said no. He disagreed with me. He took the Pats. I stood my ground, Doug Upstone. You know what stand your ground is, like the Florida law? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, you are. I stood my ground against Troy West, and I said, we're going to go mano a mano. And I stood my ground. I took the Texans. He took the Pats, though. And now you're telling me that you like the Pats. Now I'll be honest. I'm feeling a little bit nervous. You and Troy might be right. All right, let's see what you have for a value play number 3. Go.
Value play number 3 is Cincinnati as a pick over San Diego. Now, it was a perfect time last week for a bye for the Bengals to allow Andy Dalton to clear his head and the walking wounded to get healed. Now, often, however Dalton plays, so go the Bengals. But facing the 28th ranked defense with the weapons that they have at their disposal should work to Cincinnati's advantage. Nice job last week by San Diego to get the win, but this situation does not favor the Chargers, who are 0-6 against the spread at home after allowing 30 or more points. With Cincinnati just having to win the game, they do so by a touchdown or more.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, that's the way I was leaning as well, and I previewed the game with Tony George from TonyGeorgeSports.com, and he said that he didn't want to touch the side. He likes the over, and at the end of that call, I was convinced as well. Cincinnati, you just never know what you're going to get with Andy Dalton, but I agree. I think Cincinnati's a play this week, but I also agree with Tony George on the over 48 in that one. But I think you got some great picks once again this week, Doug Upstone. Not a surprise. You're really picking it up at the end of the year here. Now let's move on to games to avoid for Week 13.